Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday and welcome to the Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Morning Show on the NCW Live channel. I'm Jasmin Sanchez. Today is Tuesday, January 30th, and we are officially in the last week of January. We are getting to look at the order of the cameras, cross camera uphill overlooking Wenatchee today. What a beautiful view. Let's take that in, nice and bright. A lot of lights. We can definitely see more than we can yesterday at this hour. You can tell that there is a bit of a traffic right now on the bridge heading to East Wenatchee and over to the Wenatchee side. It doesn't look as cloudy as it did before, and we do have a beautiful view of the river. It does look a bit chilly out here also. Now moving on to our Omi Gardens camera, which is towards the opposite direction towards Wenatchee. There is better visibility on this camera. Once again, we can see the traffic over on the bridge, and we do still see some snow on the mountain side. Now let's head on over to Leavenworth. Good morning to everybody in Leavenworth watching us today from the Leavenworth Tomb Water camera overlooking downtown Leavenworth. I hope that everybody's having a beautiful morning. There is definitely not a lot of visibility. It still looks pretty dark. We can just see the lights from the city. Next, we'll have our Hay Canyon camera up in Cashmere. Hello to everybody in Cashmere. I'm actually from Cashmere. Cashmere is my hometown, and this is near the Hay Canyon area. There is definitely a lot of traffic. It is early in the morning. Everybody's heading to work, heading to school, heading towards their daily activities. We are able to see some snow at the tip of the mountain. Besides that, it looks nice and clear. The roads are definitely so much drier than they were last week. It seems as if we will be having a trending cooler weather temperatures. Temperatures will gradually cool this week. A wetter pattern will return midweek. Now, here you are, depending on your location. You can take a look at the weather near you. In Wenatchee, we are expected to see the 42 mark for today. If you are in Pullman, expect to see a high temperature of 52 degrees. In Colville, 44 degrees for today, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, January 30th. Over in Moses Lake, hello to everybody that is viewing us from Moses Lake. A high temperature 48. We are definitely seeing a weather increase in temperature, which is great. I feel that we can all get a bit of a break from the cold weather. Now moving on to our National Weather Service with a 7-day forecast. Today, patchy fog, 40% chance of rain with a high temperatures of 40 degrees. We should be expecting some rainfall possibly, and a low of 38 tonight. On Wednesday, we're still seeing foggy weather with a 90% chance of rain, and it looks like we are remaining at a similar temperature of 43 for tomorrow. In the lows is 37. Coming Thursday, we have a 60% chance of rain. Get ready to wear your rain boots. Get ready for that rainy weather with a high temperature of 44 and a low temperature of 36 degrees. Coming on to the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are definitely having warmer, cooler weather and what looks like a bit of sun. Yay for sun. Who does not like the warm weather? With our highest temperature of the week on Friday getting up to a 46 degrees. Now that is a number we have not seen in the past couple of weeks. Our low number for Friday would be 36 degrees, and on Saturday we do not have any chance for rainfall. Sunday we only have 20% chance of rain with a high temperature of 42, and Monday's weather looks a lot similar for Sunday's weather. Coming up later in the show, we will be talking about the South Miller car wreck from yesterday evening. It looks like there was no fatalities in the wreck, and we will have more information coming after the show. We will also have sports and an interview with Kayleen Bettinger, Executive Director at Upper Valley Men's, a nonprofit organization that is located in Leavenworth, Leavenworth. Y ahora, para todas las personas que nos están viendo, que hablan español, bienvenidos al programa de Despierta el Valle de Wenatchee. Hoy es martes, día 30 de enero. Ya estamos en la última semana de enero y me pregunto, ¿a dónde se fue el tiempo tan rápido? Bienvenidos al programa. Mi nombre es Jasmin Sanchez. Hoy estaremos repasando diferente información, segmentos de noticias, también tenemos segmentos de deportes y más adelante en el programa una entrevista que tuvimos ayer con la directora ejecutiva de una organización sin fines de lucro de Leavenworth. Yo soy Jasmin Sanchez. Regresamos después del corte comercial. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Locatel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting locatel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Jasmin Sanchez, and you are watching the Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Tuesday edition on January 30th. It looks like there was a pretty bad car wreck last night on South Miller. There were no fatalities as of right now that we know of in a car accident in which a speeding driver crashed into a home on Miller Street yesterday. The crash, which happened shortly after noon, only involved one car. NCW Live spoke with Captain Edgar Rainfield on the scene of the accident to learn more details.
We were taking a series of calls from people reporting a vehicle that was driving very fast northbound on Miller Street. About the same time we're receiving and processing the calls as they're coming in, keeps updating that now it's hit possibly several houses. It turns out it hit one house, but hit several fences along with some city infrastructure. There's a street sign down and some other things, and the vehicle ended up ultimately settled out upside down back by Dakota Street behind me. Only one vehicle thankfully hit. Miller's a busy street. They very could have easily got tied up with traffic southbound. Thankfully, it wasn't a time where school had just let out and there weren't a bunch of kids around either. So fortunate timing for an incident like this. No fatalities. The driver was conscious when transported to the hospital. We presume they're injured based on the amount of damage to the car, but modern vehicle systems, seatbelts, and airbags do a lot to really prevent serious injury, so we'll have to see on that.
Now, there is definitely one very obvious way to tell in the Wenatchee Valley that spring is approaching. Apple blossom. The apple blossom royalty begins to bloom. Selection takes place a week from Saturday on February 10th for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Queen and Her Court. NCW Live's Dan Kuhn sat down to speak with all 10 of the top competitors. We start off tonight with royalty candidate Dania Cuevas Sandoval. Dan asked her about balancing her obligations to the festival with her responsibilities as a Wenatchee High School senior. Now, heading over to It looks like there was some avalanches in the past couple of days. The Northwest Avalanche Center has confirmed 2 local inbound avalanches that occurred on Sunday over the weekend. The first avalanche occurred around noon at Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort and was reported to the NWAC by a skier. According to a statement from the Mission Ridge Ski Patrol, the avalanche occurred on the Nertz Run and 3 guests were in the area when the slide occurred, but no one was buried. The other avalanche took place on Solstice Crest near Stevens Pass and was triggered by a skier. No injuries were reported, thankfully, but Stevens Pass has limited terrain to be extra cautious at this time. And now for the longtime neighborhood diner, Dizzy D's, begin serving breakfast next week. The menu features a wide variety of items, quite different from the diner's specialty burgers and lunch food they're better known for. The new breakfast items include a breakfast burrito, which sounds delicious, sandwiches, avocado toast, and specialty dishes only available on certain days of the week. The restaurant is also partnering with Blue Star Coffee Roasters based out of Twisp. The new breakfast menu will be available starting February 5th. Now, when we come back, we will have sports and other news for you. Thank you for watching the program. I'm Jasmin Sanchez, and we will be back shortly.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Crown Furniture knows the most important part of a healthy and productive lifestyle is good quality sleep. The Englander Mattress Company is dedicated to manufacturing the best mattresses made in the USA. Englander chooses the finest materials made in the USA with a drive, dedication, and attention to detail, earning them a 99% satisfaction rating. Stop by Crown Furniture today on South Wenatchee Avenue and save up to 35% on select Englander mattresses.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Jasmin Sanchez. Thank you so much for staying with us. Hope everybody's having a fabulous Tuesday so far. Coming up next, we now have the sports updates for you. The Seattle Kraken are on the road in San Jose tonight in NHL action. The Kraken are coming off a 4-2 win over Columbus to wrap up a home series on Sunday. Players and coaches alike felt it was important to wrap up the first half of the schedule with a win going into tonight before the All-Star break.
How critical were these 2 points for you guys and to be able to end the homestand before you go on the road for one more with a win?
Yeah, it was huge. Obviously, we felt like we haven't been playing our best as of late, and to get 2 points, it's awesome. And we still got obviously one left here, so we got to dial it back in. puck's going in the net. I mean, you know, obviously too is since I play with him, we've found some chemistry. Cantor's been hot. I mean, it's just we've coupled on the power play. I've been in this league long enough, so you're gonna have ebbs and flows, and it's just how it works. It's just you're gonna be hot one day and you're gonna be cold the next. But you just try and be as consistent as you can and consistently create chances and you know, things that tend to even out in the end.
Maybe 5 points on the homestand. What'd you like about what you saw in the 4 games?
Yeah, I mean, you got to grind out points, and that's, you know, we did that. Like I said, we were disappointed to lose the point the other night, but you know, we came back and got the 2 points tonight. Those were critical. Anything less, you know, we'd be walking out of this building tonight not feeling very good about ourselves. So, yeah, the reality is we have 1 game left before a long break. So we have to get our heads, you know, completely focused on that job.
Tonight's game starts at 7:30 at the SAP Center. The game will be broadcast on Root Sports Northwest. Gonzaga is on the center stage in men's college basketball tonight. The Bulldogs host Loyola Marymount at the McCarthy Athletic Center at 8 o'clock. The game will be broadcast on ESPN. A Wenatchee skier competed over the weekend in a World Cup in ski cross in Alberta. Jack Michael is from Wenatchee and is currently calling the ski hill in Nakiska, Alberta, his home hill. Michel had his first 2 World Cup starts last week. He was the second youngest in the field of 50. It was a great learning experience, and he's super excited and motivated to keep charging now that he knows he can hang with the big boys. According to Jack's father, Jim, Michel didn't make the top 32, needed to move on to finals, but he was only a second off the pace. Michel told NCW Life back in December when we met him at Mission Ridge that his eyes are squarely focused on competing against world-class skiers.
I realistically take it one step at a time. I try not to focus too much on the big goals. I have dreams. I would like to be competitive in the World Cup, obviously. I would like to have top 10, some podiums. But short term, I just kind of think about working as hard as I can, focusing on the small stuff, and the results come after, you know, putting the work in, and try not to focus on it too much, because if you have too much tunnel vision, then you can't really focus on the journey there.
So who's your idol in this sport or in skiing in general?
My idol, you know, I love Tyler Walsh, got to represent USA, but there's some gnarly skiers out there, and the Canadians as well. I'm a big fan of the Swedes.
Okay.
Swedes are awesome. Eric and David Moberg are probably my favorite skiers.
Okay, all
favorite
right.
Style and
gotcha. Yeah. So when you talk about that, I mean, these guys you watch, you know, first of all on film and watch them on TV and things like that, and kind of go, okay, this is what I want to be.
Yeah, I've seen their progression videos. You know, I've kind of been through all their social media and watched their progression, and I've seen videos of them, and I used to watch them, you know, some years back and see how they progress, so you can kind of pick up on some things, relate to yourself, but it's definitely helped seeing those guys in person. Obviously, it's a whole different animal than, say, watching on TV, but at Nakisk we had a big World Cup, and I was there to watch and see all the guys and meet some of them, so it was really, really good. And even racing with a lot of the guys racing the World Cup circuit full-time when I'm in Europe, so that helps a lot.
Michel is leaving now to Europe this week to compete over the next month on the World Cup stage. Now, for checking the Les Schwab Prep Boys basketball scoreboard from last night. Liberty Bell beat Manson 58-48. Cascade Christian handled Thorpe 52-31. Soap Lake East passed Eniat 75-29. Waterville Mansfield shut down Wilson Creek 75-33. Moses Lake Christian topped Riverside Christian 52-41. Now, going on to girls scores in basketball last night, Liberty Bell beat Manson 52-34. Eniat topped Soap Lake 48-24. Waterville Mansfield down Wilson Creek 69-14, and Moses Lake Christian edge Riverside Christian 42-37. The Wenatchee girls basketball team has a makeup game against West Valley tonight at 5 p.m. Ephrata hosts Grandview at 5:30. The 5:45 games have Cascade at Cashmere, and Omak is hosting Chelan. Another girls basketball tonight, Eniat visits Riverside Christian at 5:45 p.m. The 6 o'clock games have Brewster at Okanagan. Tenasket hosts Lake Roseville. Orville travels to Liberty Bell. Manson takes on Bridgeport. Pateros plays at Moses Lake Christian, and Soap Lake hosts Cascade Christian. Now for our first glance at the boys' schedule shows West Valley at Wenatchee at 6:30 p.m., Ephrata hosts Grandview at 7 p.m., and Cascade plays at Kashmir at 7:15 while Chelan visits Omak. Also on tap tonight, Wilson Creek visits Thorpe at 6. Eniat plays at Riverside Christian at 7. The 7:30 games have Brewster at Okanagan, and Tenasket takes on Lake Roseville. Orville visits Liberty Bell. Manson hosts Bridgeport, and Pateros travels to Moses Lake Christian, and Soap Lake hosts Cascade Christian. On the wrestling match tonight, Eastmont has a home match against Eisenhower in Big 9 action. The match is scheduled to be at 7:30. He's off to Europe for a month this week. Great showing for his first go-round. Now, did you guys know that today is National Plan for Vacation Day? That's right, it's a holiday that is observed on the last Tuesday in January. Like I did mention before, we are in the last week of January in 2024. Americans workers accumulated over 705 million unused vacation days in 2017. This is a sign for everybody to check your vacation days and use them wisely if you have not used them. Every year, Americans forfeit approximately 210 plus million vacation days, and you deserve those. Over 50% of American workers have unused vacation time. Now, for what happened today in history? On January 30th, 1959, 65 years ago, and 50 years after the unsinkable Titanic struck an iceberg and sank on her maiden voyage, MS Hans heads off, said to be the safest ship to float and unsinkable like the RMS Titanic, strikes an iceberg on her maiden voyage and sinks, killing all 95 aboard. That is a tragedy. January 30th, also in 1969, 55 years ago, the Beatles' last public performance on the roof of Apple Records in London. The impromptu concert is broken up by the police. January 30th, 1983, 41 years ago, Washington defeats Miami 27-12 to win Super Bowl number 17 in Pasadena. Only 9 regular season games were played that year because of a player strike. Super Bowl MVP John Riggins totaled 181 yards from scrimmage, and Miami as a team gained 176. January 30th, 1994, that was 30 years ago. The Dallas Cowboys defeat the Buffalo Bills 30-13 to win Super Bowl 28 in Atlanta. This was the first and the only time that the same two teams met in consecutive Super Bowls. The Buffalo Bills become the only team to both play and lose 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Also on January 30th in 2000, 24 years ago, the St. Louis Rams defeated the Tennessee Titans 23-16 to win Super Bowl 34. Georgia Dome, Atlanta, it is the most recent Super Bowl in which neither team had already won a Super Bowl. And this came down to the last play, the tackle, first Super Bowl broadcast on HDTV. 1882, Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Happy birthday to Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt is widely considered to be one of the most important figures in the history of the United States, as well as one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. Historians and political scientists consistently rank Roosevelt, George Washington, and Abraham Lincoln as the 3 greatest presidents. 1994, Gene Hackman. Also, happy birthday to Gene Hackman, one of the best actor, The French Connection, best supporting actor at Unforgiven, Bonnie and Clyde, The Poseidon Adventure for everybody who has watched that, Whose Years, and Mississippi Burning. Somebody else that we are also breading today is Phil Collins. When his work with Hennessy's, his work with other artists, as well as his solo career is totaled, Collins had more U.S. top 40 singles than any other artist during the 1980s. That is so impressive. I do want to give a special thank you to Alpine Air for Heat and Air. Call Alpine Air, NCW's platinum sponsor. Now, coming up, we have Mike Magnotti's opinion, and following that, we had a chance to speak to Kaylin Bettinger, who is the executive director at Upper Valley Men's, a nonprofit organization based in Leavenworth. She told us all about the different programs that the organization offers to our community. This is something that you definitely don't want to miss on the interview. We will be right back. Stay with us.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
This is Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my grandkid Luca is an aviation nut. Luca loves going to an airport and just watching the planes land and take off. He watches all this internet flying stuff, and he is one heck of a flight simulator pilot. Now, recently, Luca, my son-in-law, and I, we all went to the Flight Museum in Tukwila. Hey, very cool place, well worth the trip. They had everything from a vintage World War I aircraft to a Vietnam-era Huey and Chinook helicopters and a mock-up of a Gemini space capsule. You know, two of my faves, of course, were the B-17 and the B-29 from World War II vintage. You know, if you think about it, one of the greatest technological miracles of our generation has been that there's been only 66 years that separated the first flight of the Wright brothers and Neil Armstrong stepping on the moon. Boy, that's mind-boggling. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Your home runs on hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters, from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move Meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Welcome back to the show. You are watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. I'm Jasmin Sanchez, and today I would like to give a warm welcome to Kaylin Bettinger. She is the Executive Director of Upper Valley Men's, a nonprofit located in Leavenworth. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you today?
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me. I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
And we are so happy to have you. I really wanted to invite you on the show because I have heard so much about the nonprofit. I have heard Upper Valley Men's everywhere. I've seen it on social media. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen all the good work that is being done by all of your staff members. And I have to ask you, when was Upper Valley Men founded, and how did the idea of the organization arise?
Okay, well, thank you for having me, and thanks for paying attention to what's going on out there. So Upper Valley Men was founded almost 40 years ago now, and it was a group of local pastors that got together and decided that we needed a food pantry in Leavenworth. And so one of them decided to host the pantry in the basement of their church, and I think it surprised even them at that time how much need there was. And so in the last 40 years, it's really expanded to support many more folks than it was at that time, and has become kind of the community's main human services hub. So we focus on 4 areas. We have services that work in food, housing, wellness, and economic security.
Okay, 40 years, wow. I was under the impression that it was a newer nonprofit, and that just means that we're so happy to have you here so that more of the community members can reach out and know what you guys are doing and know that those services are available around town. And can you go into detail about specifically which services are provided by the organization, and what would you say is your most popular service?
Absolutely. So, like I said, those 4 areas: food, housing, wellness, and economic security. So our food programs are kind of our, they were our first programs, and they're definitely the programs where the most people interact. So Community Cupboard is our food pantry, and it's sort of the heart and soul of the organization, I would say. We see hundreds of households every month that come in for food assistance, and the way that program works is that we're like a free grocery store. So we're small, but we're sort of in that vein. So folks can come in and they get a number of points based on the number of people in their household. So they can use those points throughout the month to essentially buy food with points instead of with money. And that allows people to come in, if they want to come in once a month, if they're coming from a longer distance and really stock up, they can do that. Or they can come in, every day or every other day if they don't have access to good refrigeration or something like that. So it gives people the flexibility and the choice to be able to choose the food that they want and to be able to come as often as they want. And that program is open from 11 to 5, 6 days a week. So we try to make it as accessible as possible, and we don't have any limitations on, where people live or how much money they make. It's really, if you feel like you need food assistance, you should come see us.
Okay, that's amazing. Do you hear that? I mean, there's not a lot of places that I know where, like you said, it's almost like a free grocery store. That's just great. Is there a process for somebody to sign up? Does somebody have to sign up to be able to go into the food pantry, or is it a walk-in basis?
It's just on a walk-in basis. So we will ask people for some information when they come in, their birthday, number of people in their household, but we try to keep it what we call low barrier, where there's, we want people that need it to come use it, so we don't want to make it harder than it needs to be. So for the food pantry, there's not that many barriers. For some of our other programs, we do ask for a little bit more heads up. So other things that we do, we have a free health clinic, which is hosted in partnership with Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth. And that program is Monday nights, so people can come in and we have volunteer doctors and nurses and interpreters, and folks can come in and get seen like a walk-in clinic, and there's no insurance or no payment, so they can just come in and get seen. We also have a housing program, so we have now 48 units under our management and ownership, between home ownership and rental housing, and so that's really focused on folks who wouldn't really be able to afford the high cost of living in the Upper Valley, but they might work there or have family there and really want to live in that area, and be part of the community. So folks can go to our website to get on the wait list for those programs. And then kind of tying it all together, we have a full-time social worker who helps people who have maybe more barriers to whatever their situation is, or just need more assistance. She can help make referrals and help people make a plan for whatever they're working towards. And she also administers our emergency financial assistance program. So we help people in times of crisis pay rent or utility bills, or if they're experiencing homelessness, we can help them get into a hotel for a couple nights while they get into a shelter, that sort of thing. So she administers all of that, as well as our financial assistance for medical bills. So there's a whole bunch of different things going on that we want people to know about, so they can have access to that if they need it. And then additionally, we have a thrift store and a fair trade retail store, which are our two kind of retail spots, and both of those are great shopping experiences and also provide financial support back to the organization to pay for those other services.
Kaylin, that sounds like you have a lot on your plate, but on behalf of the entire community, I want to say thank you for having a program such as this, because sometimes there's people that I need so much help, but they don't know who to go to. Mm-hmm. They don't know who's trustworthy to go to and where is a safe space for them. Yeah. Do you mind, actually, I would love to say a few of this in Spanish. I know that there's a lot of Spanish speakers out there who would be more than interested.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I do want to say a few words here in Spanish. Para todas las personas que viven en la comunidad, no solamente de Leavenworth, de Wenatchee, Cashmere, o cualquier pueblo que está alrededor, hoy tenemos a Kaylin Bettinger. Ella es directora ejecutiva de una organización sin fines de lucro que se llama Upper Valley Med. Está ubicada en instalaciones en la ciudad de Leavenworth. Ellos tienen diferentes programas. Ella vino aquí al programa el día de hoy para platicarnos acerca de todos los servicios que ellos tienen, y algo muy grande, muy importante, tienen un servicio de comida gratuita. Eso quiere decir, si tú estás buscando apoyo en comida, tienen una clínica, como le llaman, para que tú puedas ir a las oficinas y puedas tener, por ejemplo, comida gratis. No tienes que registrarte, simplemente puedes ir a la organización para pedir ayuda. También nos comenta aquí Kaylin que tienen un programa de médicos. Si tú no tienes seguro médico y tienes algún problema médico, necesitas, por ejemplo, que te revisen la presión o simples chequeos, revisiones básicos, puedes ir a la clínica, que es gratuita también, que está en Leavenworth. Y también nos cuenta Kaylin que tienen un programa para asistencia de renta. Si estás teniendo problemas para pagar tu renta, o no sabes dónde puedes vivir, o te encuentras en una situación que estás viviendo en la calle, con la ayuda del personal de Kaylin te pueden ayudar para que te quedes en un hotel un par de días en lo que te vas acomodando. Entonces vamos a continuar la entrevista con Kaylin aquí en inglés para preguntarle qué otros servicios tienen y para que nos cuente más información. I just really wanted to.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much.
We
do have bilingual staff, so please, call our office. 509-548-0408 is our phone number, and we can help you in Spanish as well.
Okay. Kaylin nos comenta que tienen también personal en la organización que es bilingüe, que habla español e inglés. Aquí en algún punto del programa les vamos a dejar lo que es el sitio de web donde pueden encontrar más información, y ahí pueden encontrar el número donde llamar para platicar con alguien en español español si lo requieren o también en inglés, y recuerden que ellos están ubicados en la ciudad de Leavenworth. Y es lo que le voy a preguntar, ¿cuál es la mejor forma para platicar con alguien acerca de los programas? And my next question, Keelan, was what is the best way for someone to get a hold of you that needs any type of assistance with any of these programs?
Yeah, they can call our main phone number, which is 509-548-0408, or our website has a lot of information, so that's uvmend.org. And we can direct you to the program that's most appropriate. Some of our programs serve anyone who walks in the door, regardless of where they live, and some of our programs really focus on the upper Wenatchee Valley, but we can often make referrals to similar organizations that serve the Wenatchee Valley or Chelan or wherever someone is calling from. So certainly give us a call if you're looking for this type of assistance and don't know what's available in your community.
Okay, that's great, and thank you so much for that information. I have heard about your gleaning program, and I think that many viewers here maybe do not know what a gleaning program is. Can you explain into detail what this program provides?
Yes, absolutely. So it's part of our food program. Gleaning essentially is defined as going out and harvesting excess or unmarketable produce. So any of the produce that maybe isn't able to be sold, or maybe a farmer has extra. We have a full-time staff member in the summer who organizes volunteers, groups of volunteers, and we go out to farms and orchards and even backyards of gardeners that might have, a vegetable garden or a fruit tree in their backyard they're not going to harvest. And we'll harvest that produce, and then we distribute it primarily through the community covered food pantry in Leavenworth, but also we do some direct distribution at like migrant camps or at health fairs, things like that. And we also work with Community Action Council, who distributes that produce when they can to food pantries around the region. So it's really focused on reducing food waste and trying to get fresh, local, often organic produce out to people who wouldn't otherwise have access to that. So if you come to the food pantry in the summer, it's like overflowing with vegetables and fruit, and it's beautiful, and it really adds to the variety that we can provide for folks.
Can you give us a few examples of the fruits and vegetables that you can expect to find at times?
Yeah, so it's really whatever is in season. Last season we had 54 different types of gleaned produce. So in the spring and early summer you're going to find more like leafy greens, things like that. As you move into the summer months, peppers, tomatoes, all the kind of hot summer fruit, and then or vegetables. And then as you move into the fall, apples and pears, of course, in this region are big. So we have a lot of that. And squash in the fall as well. So we try to follow, we harvest what's available, and then we also have some funds through a grant to be able to purchase produce as well. So that money that we can use to purchase produce allows us to have more variety in times when we might be full of zucchinis because that's what people are growing at that time. We are able to purchase raspberries or whatever to make that variety kind of extend through the season.
Okay, well, thank you so much for going into detail. That is great.
Yeah.
You are the first food pantry that I've ever heard of that has fresh fruits and vegetables, and I would love to emphasize this, especially because fresh organic produce is expensive and not everybody can always afford it.
Right.
Nuestra amiga Kaylin aquí nos está contando que tienen un programa no solamente de comida, de despensa de comida, sino que tienen un programa donde ellos van y pueden estar, por ejemplo, cosechando peras, manzanas, van con los rancheros locales y toda la fruta o verdura que les queda, muchos se las donan a la organización. Entonces tienen en veces frutas y verduras que son orgánicas, dependiendo la temporada, y eso es algo muy diferente porque casi siempre los lugares de despensa de comida tienen comida enlatada, que también es de mucha ayuda, pero muchas personas no pueden pagar económicamente alguna verdura, por ejemplo, que sea orgánica, y visitando a la organización que tienen, o ellos mismos van a diferentes centros aquí de diferentes pueblos, llevan esta comida, estas verduras, estas frutas más saludables que otras opciones para las personas que puedan tener acceso a esta comida. Recuerden que ellos están ubicados en Leavenworth, no tienen ningún costo alguno acceder a ellos para los servicios porque son un servicio sin fines de lucro, una organización. I was mentioning that these services are free of cost because you are a nonprofit organization, meaning that you guys don't charge for any of your services.
Yep. Yeah, besides our thrift store, that's the only place that we charge. But we also give clothes away if people need it, so you can come in and ask for that too.
Oh, that's amazing. Sí, dijo que tienen una tienda, que es una tienda de segunda mano. Esa parte de la tienda sí cobran para vender la comida, pero si alguien va en busca, por ejemplo, de alguna ropa que necesite, le hace falta ropa, sí donan ropa por si la necesitan. And what is the best number again? Can you repeat that?
It's 509-548-0408.
548-0408. There you have it. We have Kaylin here, Bettinger from Upper Valley Mend organization located in Leavenworth. We are getting ready to wrap up this interview. Kaylin, is there anything that you would like to add for anybody who is watching us?
Sure. Well, for folks who are interested in supporting this work, Upper Valley Mend is donation supported. So if you're interested in making a donation and helping these services continue, our website is uvmend.org, and you can make a donation there. We also are very heavily volunteer supported, so if you're interested in volunteering, for example, for the gleaning program or for any of our other services, you can also learn more at our website, uvmend.org. And then, of course, you know, if folks feel that they could use these services, please come visit us. And if you're interested in supporting by shopping, please shop at Das Thrift House in Leavenworth or Jubilee Global Gifts.
Well, Kaylin, thank you so much for coming on the show. We are so happy to have you. Le damos las gracias a Kaylin por estar en este programa. And remember, you are watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the Tuesday edition. We'll be right back. Thanks, Kaylin, for coming in.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and enjoy your dining experience while taking in the breathtaking views of the mountains. And you can host your next private event at Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth. Enjoy the warm atmosphere of Crystal's event space and the enthusiasm of their staff. Not to mention their mouth-watering banquet menu, which has something to fit every group's needs. Reserve your date today.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Abby says thank you to our thousands of pizza-loving friends from our first 60 years. From our family to yours, thank you. This January, Abby's is proud to offer our classic Big Hawaiian Pizza at a very special price. Now at abbeys.com or join us in our parlor for a legendary pizza tradition.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Tatiana is a mortgage loan originator from Wenatchee Valley. Tatiana, thank you so much for being on the show with us. I am super excited to finally have a conversation with you. Welcome.
Thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm glad to get out here and be able to express a little bit about what I do and how I help in the community, and just, kind of tell a little snippet about my story. And so I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Of course, Tatiana. And there is definitely a lot of commotion, a lot of talk about the housing industry that is going on right now everywhere with prices. And I hear that you are the go-to person, especially because you're bilingual in both Spanish and English. When I am ready to buy a home, are you the person to contact?
Yes, Jasmine. I am in a younger crowd, but I love to help everybody. Whether I purchased my first home when I was 21, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I told myself I'm not going to rent and I'm going to just go for it. My husband and I, we applied, we got pre-approved, we had maybe like $200 in our bank account, and we got the green light to go house shopping. And that's an experience that I love to be part of when I pre-approve my clients. And everybody starts somewhere, but you don't know where to start unless you get that guidance.
Okay, and that's great, Tatiana. I do follow you on your social media accounts. I know that you post a lot of information on your Facebook, on Instagram, and recently I have seen that you started posting content in Spanish for all of your Spanish viewers. Can I ask you, what products do you offer? How can you help somebody that approaches you?
Yes, Jasmine, I love social media. It's a great place, it's a great platform to really reach the most people, not just in our community, but like all of Washington State. And I will say I'm licensed in Washington State and Arizona State, so I just love being able to help the entire community, and a lot of that portion of the people that I help are Hispanic. There's a big demand on Spanish-speaking loan originators because there's not a lot out there, and a lot of the loan originators that do speak Spanish are at local banks, which local banks offer great products. However, they don't always have the capacity to offer a little bit more. So we're very diverse at the Mortgage Hub. We do ITIN loans, we do reverse mortgages, we do HELOCs, we offer a huge we could broker out, we do a lot of products. So it's definitely great to be able to give people options.
Thank you, Araya, for playing a snippet preview of the interview that we will have coming up tomorrow. Again, you were just seeing Tatiana Betancourt. She is a mortgage loan originator located here in Wenatchee Valley. And must I add that she is fully bilingual. And speaking of bilingual, I did want to say hello and greet everybody, all of our Spanish viewers, and say a few words of this piece segment to them. Ahorita a continuación teníamos a Tatiana Betancourt. Ella es una persona que es prestamista para hipotecas de casa. Ella va a estar con nosotros en el programa de mañana, haciendo una entrevista con nosotros, platicando acerca de cómo te puede ayudar a ti o a alguien que tú conoces. Si tú ya estás listo para ser un dueño de tu propia casa, pero no sabes dónde comenzar o no sabes cómo es el proceso de un préstamo, puedes acudir mañana con nosotros en el programa de la mañana, de las 7 de la mañana, para ver más información y más detalles acerca de esta entrevista. I would like to go a bit of a recap on what we talked about this morning earlier in the show for the weather and what we have expected for the next 7 days coming up here. Let's go on to the 7-day weather forecast and see what we have in sight for us. For today, a 40% chance of rain, looks a bit patchy, foggy after 9 a.m., otherwise cloudy with a high near of 40 degrees and a low chance of 38 degrees. For Wednesday, 90% chance of precipitation, high near 43, and for Wednesday night, we do have lows of 37. It looks like it will most likely be rain rain mainly after 4 a.m. Cloudy with a low around 37 degrees. And then we have Thursday. More than likely rain mainly before 10 a.m. Patchy fog between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Otherwise, it looks as if we will have mostly cloudy weather with a high near of 44 and calm winds. There's a chance of precipitation is at 60%, and that's less than 1/10 of an inch possible. For Thursday night, we do have patchy fog right before 1 a.m., then patchy fog after 2 a.m. Besides that, it will be mostly cloudy with a low around 36 degrees. Now for Friday, partly sunny with a high near of 46. That is looking to be the warmest day so far this week, 46. And we did mention earlier, we have not seen that rise in temperature for a couple of weeks now. So it is exciting for us to get to spend some time outside and enjoy the warmer weather. Make sure if you do have some time this weekend to enjoy with family and friends, and just go out for a walk in the park and clear the mind. For Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 32. And as you can see, Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny for Saturday with a high of 44. And Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 31. Now coming for Sunday, we have a 20% chance of rain. Snow level is at 1,700 feet, partly sunny with a high temperature of 42 degrees. For Sunday night, we're looking at mainly a cloudy evening with a low around 31 degrees. For Monday, we do have a 20% chance of rain. Snow level is looking at 1,500 feet. We will have partly sunny weather with a high near of 40. Quería también compartirles esto en español para las personas que nos están viendo. ¿Cuál es el pronóstico del clima para los próximos 7 días? Comenzando con el día de hoy, parece que hay una probabilidad de 40% de que tengamos lluvia con una alta temperatura de 40. Y hoy por la noche, en la martes, tenemos una temperatura de 38. Ya para mañana, que es miércoles, se pronostica lluvia, 90% de probabilidad de lluvia y la temperatura más alta en 43. Ya por miércoles en la noche parece que todavía estará lloviendo y más después de las 4 de la mañana. Ya en la madrugada parece que estará nubloso con una temperatura más baja de 37. Este jueves lo más seguro es que tengamos lluvia, es lo que está pronosticando aquí el clima antes de las 10 de la mañana, y también nublina de 4 de la tarde a las 5 de la tarde. Aparte de eso, sí habrá un cambio en la temperatura porque ya está más caliente. Estamos viendo una temperatura que ya está más caliente que otros días, a 44 lo más alto. Sí se espera que tengamos algo de viento, pero un viento más calmado, no va a estar tan fuerte, y hay una posibilidad de que tengamos lluvia del 60%. Ya para el jueves en la noche sí parece que tendremos más neblina a la 1 de la mañana y después de las 2 de la mañana también, y la temperatura más baja para el jueves está pronosticada a 36. Para el viernes tenemos el día más caliente al parecer de la semana. Si pueden ver aquí el clima y la temperatura a 46. Yo les recomiendo que aprovechen este día soleado, que hace mucho que no tenemos un día de una temperatura tan calientita. Inviten a familiares, amigas a una caminata al parque, tengan una noche muy agradable o un día muy agradable, porque hace mucho que no vemos esas temperaturas. Ya para el viernes por la noche sí hay índices de que bajará la temperatura posiblemente a 32. Para el sábado en el día se ve soleado por la mayoría y solamente baja la temperatura un poquito a 44 grados. Ya para el sábado por la noche tenemos una temperatura un poco más baja y puede bajar hasta los 31 grados, pero todavía se ve un poquito soleado durante el día y no hay índices hasta ahorita de que tendremos lluvia. Para el domingo tenemos un clima que es bastante nubloso y una temperatura ya un poquito más baja, en la noche de 31, y durante el día tendremos un 20% de que tendremos lluvia. El nivel de la nieve está a 1,700 pies, sería parcialmente soleado con una temperatura en las altas de 42. Y ya para el lunes aquí se puede ver que hay un 20% de probabilidad de que tengamos lluvia y una temperatura baja de 31. Para las personas que están trabajando afuera, quiere decir que van a tener una semana llena de trabajo a partir del fin de semana, si es que están trabajando, o simplemente una oportunidad para que ustedes puedan disfrutar de este gran clima. Muchas gracias a las personas que nos están viendo el día de hoy. Ahora le cambio al inglés para anunciar otras cosas por aquí. I do want to mention that if you did not get a chance to watch our programs, we do have the evening news at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m., and there are various ways that you can watch it. If you do not have access to the local channels, you can visit us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and on ncwlife.com. This is also a different option. If you are viewing us at this moment and you happen to have a smartphone on you, you can take a picture of this QR code and this will automatically pop up the app for NCW Life, and the channels here are available on this app. You're able to watch the programs on live. So go ahead and follow us. If you do have anything that you believe is newsworthy and something that you think NCW Life should be. Now, I just want to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Jasmin Sanchez, and we will see you tomorrow. Adiós. Gracias por estar hoy con nosotros en este programa. Que tengan buen día. Nos vemos mañana.